Evening all. This is a video response to a video that went up probably about 45 minutes ago. That was from Yorkshire Man 66, and it was 10 GameCube games. He put a video up of his 10 favourite GameCube games, and he wanted to make it a bit of a community challenge, I think, as he put it. So Mark, cheers. I know that you didn't nominate me personally. I think you put the challenge out to UK Crowd Gaming, but you did say it was a community challenge, and I'm jumping on the bandwagon. And it's going to be an easy video for me because I've only got 11 cube games in the collection. So I think I'll cheat a bit and I'll get all 11 in, if that's all right. I'll get round that because I'm gonna. These aren't going to be in any real particular order. But I'm gonna put two in as one, and that's going to be the Resident Evil collection. It's going to be a nightmare holding these two up for any extended period of time. But as you can see, I've got 0 and 4, and played them both, but just not on the GameCube. So, a big fan of the Resident Evil series, and the GameCube is the first system I ever played a Resident Evil game on. Reason for that is I had Nintendo 64 back in the day during my how old would I have been? Back when I was like year 10, 11, sixth form. That was about the time of that generation. I had Nintendo 64. I was in a little bit of a minority amongst my mates. Most of them had PlayStation 1. And they all used to talk about Resident Evil a lot. And I always really liked the sound of it. And I thought, well, you know, I probably will get a PlayStation one day. I've got to play this series. It sounds a bit of me. But it wasn't till about 2000, I would guess maybe 2005, when I went on eBay. God, I wish I did this a bit more back in the day. I went on eBay, picked the game up. Maybe it's a little bit later than that, 2007 maybe. Between sort of two, it's really difficult to recall, but let's just say between sort of 2005, 2007ish. Went and bought the original Resident Evil, which was remade for the Cube, and that is the first experience I had of the game. So I've never gone back to play Resident Evil 1 on the PlayStation, but that is something I'd like to do. Anyway, so yeah, can't remember what I paid for that, but little bro's got that now in his collection. But I have started to buy the Resident Evil games for the GameCube. So as you can see, I've just got 0 and 4 at the minute. Only just completed 4 for the first time on the Xbox. I played the Xbox version. That was a few weeks back, maybe a month or so back. First time I'd ever finished it. I tried to get into that game several times and found it balls hard, especially if anyone's played it, the first village where you get swarmed. And I just thought, blimey, just you're rooted to the spot as well when you're aiming. So I found the controls difficult. I found combat difficult, and sort of that crowd control aspect I found difficult. So it took a few attempts to get into that. It was really sort of getting past that village, and the game throws you in a little bit in the deep end, because I don't remember it getting as hard as that again. But yeah, I'm happy to have played through that. It's quite a long game. In my sort of rotation of the series, I'm not sure how often I'll play Resi 4, but I dare say I'll play it again. Resident Evil 0 for me is an underrated game. It's not as good as Resi 1, but it's not a million miles off. I would suggest that it's worth a playthrough. You do end up in a mansion at one point as well. Definitely worth, if you're a fan of the Resident Evil 1 and 2, it's definitely worth a visit, that one. Right, swig of tea. Right, next up is a game I've not actually played yet, so I know nothing about it, and that is Super Monkey Ball. Yeah, I know, still got the ugly CEX stickers on. Now I picked this up because it's not quite N64 standard, but I do think that the GameCube's a decent multiplayer system, and I wanted like a very pick up and play sort of puzzle game that me and a few mates could sink some time into. And this is obviously a highly rated one. I'm sure a lot of lads and ladies in the community are more than aware of this game. Yet to play it, but we'll definitely visit. It's the same scenario with the next one that I'm going to show you, and that is Beautiful Joe. Again, not played it yet, but it's got good reviews, and I really like the look of it and the sound of it, so I had to grab myself a copy of that. Now, this is a game I've played and enjoyed, and it's WarioWare Mega Party games. So this is, for anyone that's not familiar, it's a little bit like Mario Party, but the mini games are even smaller. They're micro games, and with a few players, it's a lot of fun. Next up is a Mario Party game, and it's Mario Party 4. I wanted a Mario Party game for the Cube, and I did a bit of reading up on which was a good one to get, and I decided to go with this one. I'm trying to think if I played it yet or not. I've been buying back for the Cube for maybe about the last 5 years or so. My collection, when I actually had the Cube back in the day, never got beyond about 2 or 3 games. So I'm buying a lot of these for the first time. And it's a bit of an excuse I'm offering you why I haven't actually played them yet. For various reasons, just not got together with anyone and set up the Cube to play any multiplayers. Right, got 5 left, so we're halfway. Next game is Mario Kart Double Dash. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I can't remember which way round it is, but I know that one edition of this game comes in a black case and one comes in a red. I think the black might be the one that was bundled with one of the consoles, but I'm not too sure about that. This is alright. I'm not the biggest Mario Kart fan, to be honest. I've played a lot of the original back on the Super Nintendo. Really enjoyed that one. Little bit of a mixed bag, I find the Mario Kart 64. I enjoy the multiplayer and the battle mode, but I think the rubber banding on the when you play the Grand Prix is pretty outrageous, to be fair, and it put me off playing Mario Kart for quite a while. This isn't one that I've put a lot of time into, but it is one that I intend to give a chance. I'm still looking for that. Although I did enjoy the Mario Kart back in the SNES days, I can only really play it in small doses today. So I'm not a fan of Mario Party 8, which is probably another video unto itself. But I am looking for that version of Mario Kart that I can get into. So when the Cube gets set up, I dare say I'll put some time into this one. Right, speaking of looking for things, I've always been on the lookout for what I consider to be the definitive football game. Now, I play football, I watch football, but I'm not a big fan of football simulators like FIFAs and Pro Evo and stuff. There's something about it for me, it doesn't do it for me. So I'm looking for that pick up and play arcade football experience, and this is probably the closest I found to it. Mario Smash Football. I think it's called, is it Super Mario Strikers in the US? But yeah, this is, if anyone's played any of the Mario sports titles, it's just more of the same. I'm always on the lookout for that football equivalent of NBA Jam. Sega Soccer Slam's one I want to pick up for the system. but as of yet it's eluded me. Right, final three. So yeah, I didn't do this in any sort of order, but the last one is going to be the best in my opinion. But the next game I've got is F-Zero GX. This was a present from my little bro because I was such a big fan of F-Zero X on the N64, which was probably my most played race of all time. That is the futuristic, the speed, the soundtrack, the music. Yeah, love that. That's an absolute classic. So he bought this for me maybe 10 years ago as a sort of unexpected birthday present, and unfortunately it's not really had a lot of play, because that was at a time when I weren't really you know, I certainly weren't thinking about retro and stuff, and probably weren't gaming a lot either, but that is one I will visit. Right, two left, and this one is it's from a series that I like, but I've not actually played this entry into the series, and it's Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. Now this was actually a gift from a mate of mine. He just sent me this game and a couple of other bits in like a friendly care package sort of bundle. He sent that to me in the post. He's not on the tubes or anything, but yeah, he sent me a copy of this. He said it's in absolutely spanking condition. He has become a bit of a collector himself. I say a bit of a collector. He's got a collection probably 3 or 4 times the size of mine. But yeah, what a gift. I mean, look at that. It's got all the leaflets. It's in lovely condition. Disc hasn't got a mark on it. So if you're watching, cheers mate, I appreciate that. I weren't really playing games a lot when this came out and this was big, and I was a little bit put off by the cell shaded graphics. But since I'm on the verge of completing Breath of the Wild, and I've put nearly 200 hours into that, then I can probably get past the cell shading, and at some point I will probably give this a chance as well. Right, so the final game, and my personal favourite on the system, and I'm happy to say this is my copy as well, which I kept. It ended up in my brother's. I sort of palmed it off to him to look after. But when I started getting into sort of buying and collecting and playing this old stuff again 4 or 5 years ago, unfortunately for him, I yoinked it back out of his cabinet and put it on my shelf. So sorry, Josh, if you're watching, but I'm sure you're not. But there is a reason. There is a method to my madness. So the game anyway is Legend of Zelda: The Twilight Princess. Now this is weird because this is a game that I thoroughly enjoyed, and I got right to the end, like the last boss, and then for some odd reason stopped playing. And that is also something that I did with Majora's Mask as well, the game in the series before this one. Got right to the end, loved it, did all the side quests, but when it came time to finish the game, I kind of stalled and stopped. Whether that's because I didn't want it to end, or I don't know, it's weird. So I would like to finish this, but I mean, I haven't played it for 10 years, so it's probably going to have to be a case of starting it again. But yeah, just a brilliant game. What's not to like about Zelda? So that is my 10 GameCube games. GameCube is it's one of the systems that I kept. It got slung up in the loft. So yeah, this is what I had back in the day. It's largely in good nick. There's a bit of a bullet hole there on the front of the box, but I've stuck it in one of these protectors, and yeah, it looks pretty good. I did have So back in the day when I actually owned a cube, I had trying to think, I think I might have only had 2 games. I had that, and I had a copy of Harvest Moon, which I suspect I gave to a charity shop a few years ago. I've looked everywhere for it and I can't seem to find it. But there you go. Hopefully that was a nice pickup for someone. If anyone picks up a copy of Harvest Moon from a charity shop down here in Kent, then fair play to you. Well, that's it. That's turned into, that is specifically a VR to Mark, Yorkshire Man 66. It'd be really interesting to hear other people's top 10 GameCube games. And admittedly, I snuck in an 11th and I've turned it into a collection video. And I've just seen that getting on past 15 minutes, so I'm going to call it there. Yeah, perhaps some other lads might like to do their VRs to that as well. I'll put a link to the original video in the description. So yeah, that's it. Cheers, take it easy, thanks for watching.